What's going on, Tackle Warehouse fans? Jake here, bringing you this week's episode of What's New at TW. So we got a bunch of stuff for you today. It's, February, pre-spawn's right around the corner. We know some of you guys up north are still iced in, but down south, people are bed fishing. And right now is the time of the year where it starts to get really good to be out there on the lake. So first up, we got a few new things from Spro Lures. So the first two here are the new Type R versions of the Spro Little John. So I have the regular Spro Little John, and then I got the Little John MD. So right out the gate, I can't tell you how many fish I've caught on this Little John MD, the regular version that's been out for years and years. So these new Type Rs are now the new rattling versions. So super loud rattle. If you're familiar with the Little John crankbaits, they're awesome little cranks. They're actually flat-sided cranks, really tight action. They get a lot of bites, especially when you're fishing behind people. These just seem to produce a little bit more than all the other cranks out there when you're trying to go behind people and fish for pressured fish. So the original Little Johns, they had that soft tungsten ball in there, so it had this really soft kind of thud to it. Not really a loud rattle, just real soft kind of thumping noise. But now with these steel balls in there, you're gonna get that loud, aggressive, rattling action. So if you're already a big fan of these baits, or you're just looking for something that's got some rattles in it, these are gonna be great for those times when maybe the water's a little bit more murky, or you're trying to pull fish away from cover. You just want something that's a little bit louder, or you just want to have both tied up. Have the regular version and the rattling version on the deck, so you know which one they're biting that day. Just awesome. They got new rattling versions of the Little John cranks. Another one they got from Spro, they got the new, we just got the new Spro Essential Series Hunter Squarebill crankbait. So Spro's been coming out with a whole Essential Series of bait and tackle. And this Squarebill here, the Essential Series actually is gonna come in a little bit lower price point, so a little bit more affordable for more anglers out there, but you're still getting a Spro quality bait, and they come with premium components on. So this, right out of the box, it comes with Gamakatsu #4 treble hooks on there, so you don't have to waste any more money swapping out trebles or anything like that. This Hunter crankbait, it's got kind of a longer body, but it's got a real wide wobble to it. The short square bill gets you in that 3 to 5 foot range. It's going to be perfect for going over kind of, rocks and logs and brush and stuff like that. Right now is the time to be starting to fish up shallow. Looking for those fish that are moving up to start spawning. This has also got a loud one knocker in it. So if you're looking for a crank that's got a real wide action, loud knocker in it, this is going to be the one to go to. You're getting a Spro quality crankbait, great components for $6.99. So awesome deal there from Spro. All right, next up from Hog Farmers. So it's February, it's A-rig time. So depending on where you're at in the country, the A-rig bite gets really, really good right now. And Hog Farmers coming out with a couple new options on their mini rig series. So they've now expanded to a mini rig with a 3-wire and 3-blade and a 5-wire 4-blade. Now this is already the kind of size A-rig that I like personally, about this wire length and wire size and kind of configuration. These are awesome rigs. If you're not throwing an A-rig right now, you need to jump on it. And these are just awesome A-rigs. If you're not looking for those big giant rigs to put 6-inch baits on, you want something a little bit more toned down. Maybe everyone else is throwing A-rigs and you want something a little bit more finessey, check out these from Hog Farmer. They make phenomenal A-rigs. They got top quality components from the top to the bottom. Snaps, split rings, blades, swivels, everything on these. You don't need to mess with anything on there. You can fish them right out of the package. All right, we got a couple interesting little baits here from Lunker Hunt. So Lunker Hunt's always got something interesting looking, innovative. So the first one here is a new Ned Frog. So right out, when we first got it, I wasn't super excited about it until I watched some of the underwater footage, and it actually looked really cool in the water. So this is part of the Ned Rig combo kit. So it comes with one bait pre-rigged on a 1/4 ounce Ned head, and then you're gonna get a replacement body in the pack as well. So 1/4 ounce head, it's got a weed guard on there, so you can kind of come through a little bit of cover. And when you see this little frog under the, in the underwater footage, it looks just like a little juvenile frog, jumping around through mud and grass and stuff like that. Just something different. The Ned Rig has exploded over the last, 3-4 years or so. And I don't know, how many of those little 3-inch worms a fish see every day, especially in the wintertime when the bite's tough. Show them something a little bit different, especially, post-spawn. When there's going to be more life in the water, the little frog might be the deal. So check out the new Ned Frog from Lunker Hunt. The next one they got is this new Battle Beetle. So you can see, it's super out there, real bright, just a totally unique topwater bait. So it's got this bill on here, jointed body, and when this thing runs on the surface, kind of reminds me of like an old jitterbug or something. So it's real loud, got a lot of commotion. It's got some rattles in it, so it's gonna create a big wake on the surface and just, you know, draw fish from a long ways away. One thing I like about it is it's got this 2 trebles on the rear right there. So, you know, you're gonna have just 2 hooks on the back, so if fish come up to side swipe at it or try to grab at it, you know, you're gonna get a hook on them, and they're all dressed with feathers on them right out of the box. And yeah, I just think it's gonna be a little pond killer. If you got some pond fish you're going after, I wanna check out the new Battle Beetle. All right, next up from Googan Baits. This first one I'm actually super stoked about. This is the new Googan Baits Toad Soft Bait Frog Trailer. So I'm a huge fan of throwing these soft plastic style frogs, even over regular hollow body frogs personally. And I just love the way they designed this thing. So on the back end, it's got these flange legs. They kick and produce a big bubble trail and cause a lot of disturbance, almost like a buzz bait. So it's gonna make a lot of noise and just kick up a lot of water. And then on the body here, they put a lot of heavy ribbing on there, so that's gonna just send a little bit more vibration through the water, and more importantly, it's gonna add some resistance, and it's gonna help you reel the bait a little bit slower, but still keep it up on the surface. On the bottom, they got a large belly slot, and then on the top, they got a nice little slot to hide your hook point on there. Solid head, so you can run a screw lock, you can run an EWG, whatever you like. You're not gonna have to worry about tearing this up too quickly. It is made out of durable plastic, but it's not super dense where you're gonna have problems with hook penetration, which is, I've found in the past on certain other soft plastic frogs on the market. Sometimes the hookup ratio is not all that great because the plastic is so dense, you can't drive a hook. You're not gonna have a problem with this. And the Googan Baits has loaded this thing down with the Slaunch sauce, so when they grab onto it, they're not gonna let go. Just an awesome frog. Run it by itself, put it on your favorite buzzbait, whatever you like. Just a cool frog there from Googan Baits. The next one they got here is a new Rattlin' Chunk trailer. So it's kind of a slimmed down version of their Kraken Craw, just a shorter body, just giving you that more chunk style presentation. So if right now's the time, you need to have a flipping jig tied on and be up shallow and flipping around every piece of little brush, grass, you know, rock that's around, and this is gonna be a perfect trailer for that. So again, got those flange claws, gonna produce a lot of action, and most importantly, it has that internal rattle in the head there. So you're gonna get that nice little rattle ticking sound, just something a little bit different, you know, changing it up from all the other jigs that are coming by. Got that Slaunch sauce on there. They got a bunch of awesome colors. If you're looking for a new jig trailer for this time of the year, check out the new Chunk Craw from Googan Baits. All right, another little craw we got here. This one's from Strike King. So going back to finesse, so this is the new Strike King Rage Tail Ned Craw. So this came out of ICAST, we finally got it in. We got a handful of colors in at the moment, so if the bite's super tough or you live farther north and you're still just in that finesse, you know, that time of the year where you really gotta finesse them to get a bite, you're looking for a craw style presentation, this is gonna be one you wanna look at. Run it on your favorite Ned, on your Ned head. You know, Ned jig head, or you can even run it as a finesse jig trailer. So if you're running like those real small football jigs, this is gonna be a deadly trailer for that. So there's not a lot of real small craw trailers on the market. This is gonna be one you wanna throw on there. So it's got everything that you would want, or everything that you're used to from the standard Rage Tail Craw, but now just in a super small version. So it got those flange claws on there, gets tons of action. Got some ribbing in the tail to help push a little bit more water. Got the coffee scent, so you know everything in the Rage Craw just super slimmed down to, you know, real finesse style size on there. All right, so we just went over some soft plastics. If you're looking for some jigs to use those with, we got a whole bunch of jigs. The first couple we got here are from Fish Hammer. So we got their Fish Hammer, we got their flipping jig, and then we got a football jig, and we also got a swim jig. So we just brought, you know, 3 totally new different jigs in with Fish Hammer. This flipping jig, it's got a flat head on it, so you flip it in there, it's gonna help stand your trailers up on the bottom. It's got a just gaff of a hook on there, so heavy duty hook. You know, the football jig, got the nice football head design, medium heavy wire hook. You know, the weed guard's not too stiff, so you're not gonna have any problem getting hook sets, especially on long casts. They all have really good powder coatings on them. And then the last one up, oh, sorry, we got the swim jig. So the swim jig got that pointed head design, a vertical line tie. It's gonna come through grass and stuff really well. And one thing I noticed about all the Fish Hammer jigs is, you can probably notice as well just by holding these things, is they have really bulky skirts. So they all have a 66 strand silicone skirt. So just a little bit more skirt count than your typical jig out there on the market. So if you're looking for something that's just a little bit thicker, a little bit bulkier presentation, the Fish Hammer jigs are gonna be the way to go. All right, last jig we got a totally new jig from Stanford Lures. This one's actually designed by Fred Robanis. So we got the Boom Boom OG Gangster Swim Jig designed by Fred Robanis himself, shallow water expert. What's really unique about this jig is it has a perfectly flat horizontal line tie, and it's actually a teardrop shaped head with a hole, like a bass boat hole style head on the bottom. So this jig, it stays perfectly balanced all the time. So you can run it slow, you can burn this jig, and you're not gonna have any problems with it turning or blowing out. And with that flat line tie and the way the head's designed, it just rolls over cover super easy. Out of the package, it's got a 5/0 Hayabusa hook on there. So it's a premium flipping hook. It's got like a Teflon coating on there. So super slick, you're gonna get great hook penetration. You know, stiff weed guard so you can get through cover really well. They got a bunch of awesome colors. So just a phenomenal new swim jig on the market from Stanford Lures. All right, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of What's New Tackle Warehouse. For more information or to purchase the products seen here today, make sure to click shop or the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this week's video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, let us know in the comments which one of these products you're most excited about.